Big John, take us through the numbers.
Very simply put, you can take a look at the records. 18-2 for Fabio Aguiar, 11-3 for Aaron Jeffery. If it wasn't for a Contender Series fights, he wouldn't be beaten. So both of them very good fighters in the middleweight division.
The 18-year-old version of yours truly envies the mullet of my fellow Canadian. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
For those joining us tonight live on YouTube at Bellator MMA and Showtime Sports, we welcome you to Mohegan Sun as we get set now in the prelims tonight to go 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 6'2", weighing in 184 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 11 wins, 3 losses from Tillsonburg, Ontario, Canada, Aaron Jeffery. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 184 pounds. As a professional, 18 victories, only 2 defeats from Recife, Pernambuco, Brazil, presenting Fabio F5 Aguiar. And the referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
So we are getting set for action between Fabio Aguiar's 110 of his last 11, coming off a win over Taylor Johnson at Bellator 265 last August. Aaron Jeffery comes in with some hype from Canada. He's won 5 of his last 6.
He's a very good fighter. He's good both in the stand-up, on the ground. Aguiar likes to keep the fight in the standing position, even though he's outstanding as a jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Aguiar now training at the Pitbull Brothers Gym, while Jeffery trains out of Niagara Top Team and Aegis MMA under the likes of Chris Prickett, Lyndon Whitlock, and others. And now the clinch as the BJJ brown belt Jeffery gets it on with Aguiar, who is known for a well-rounded game when it comes to finishes, John. For Aguiar, 6 wins via first-round knockout or submission, evenly distributed at 3 apiece.
Yeah, he is very good, and the real question is, how is his wrestling going to match up to Jeffrey's? Right now, he's got that body lock position, both hands up high. We'll see if he can get the takedown.
Jeffery attended Brock University and studying medical sciences, graduating in 2015. And while he never wrestled with the school team, he said he trained with them often over the past decade and has picked up a wrestling tip or 2 from the #1 team in the True North Strong and Free.
Well, his wrestling is actually really good for a guy, like you're saying, he did not wrestle competitively. His wrestling in his MMA fights shows that he knows exactly what he's doing at times. But in this position right here, Aguiar definitely has the advantage.
Aguiar keeping Jeffery stapled to the fence. Pummeling for position, Jeffery trying to turn the tables, as it were.
Well, at least Jeffery was able to dig that left underhook. That's why he was able to turn the position. Now he's more into a 50-50 instead of someone that has an advantage on him.
2 minutes have elapsed here in the opening round, and it's been a battle for control of the clinch, John.
It has been, and you're seeing a lot of people are going to look at it and go, oh, they're just kind of, just dancing around. There's a whole lot of energy being put out by both men right now. You see a high crotch coming from Jeffery. Very nice job. He still doesn't really have that takedown. We'll see if he can make it happen, but he's looking for that guillotine right now. He's looking for a front choke, and it's tight. You can see right now that's got a lot of pressure on it. That's why Aguiar is going towards his back.
Aguiar's never been submitted. Jeffery looking to submit him here as we cross the midway point of the opening round, and Jeffery has 3 submission wins.
Aguiar trying to survive right now.
And the choke is being put on tight.
Getting to his feet actually increases the pressure on the choke. Aguiar just being able to make it through it, but when you see the space being crushed by Jeffries, there's a ton more pressure being put on that neck.
And Jeffery, of course, speaking of expending energy, really putting the squeeze on and trying to get it over with here in the first round of his Bellator MMA debut. Aguiar not capitulating yet.
No, he's not, but I'll tell you what, it's tight. You see him looking, he's locking up the same as a Monteleone as a rear naked choke. He's just doing it in the front. He just has to elevate those hips, bring the pressure up. He keeps on trying to adjust. Aguiar's just got enough space where he's able to survive right now. You see him digging his fingers into that forearm.
And Jeffery releases the grip, maintains positional control, delivering some elbows from the side, putting the pressure and putting a beating on Fabio Aguiar. With just over a minute left here in the first round, an impressive start to the Bellator MMA tenure for the 29-year-old Canadian Aaron Jeffery.
All of that coming off of one high crotch lift to the ground, one mistake of where you put the head. The real question is, how is Jeffery's arms? Did he blow his arms up going for that choke?
And in the end, Fabio Aguiar remains in the fight. He's in a standing position now, again battling for control in the clinch, reversing, trying to reverse. And Jeffery looking for a trip takedown with 30 seconds left in the opening round.
You know, we talk about Jeffery with his arms, but you got to look at Aguiar. There was a lot of time there. He wasn't getting much air. A lot of pressure on that neck throughout the round.
And more pressure on the neck now as Aguiar getting his takedown attempt stuffed by Aaron Jeffery. Final 10 seconds of the first frame. And they don't mind high risk because, hey, it can lead to high reward, especially in what is essentially, you know, an audition as he gets rattled with the right hand from Aguiar. But again, Aguiar telegraphing the shot, John.
Yeah, he did, but it was one thing I was just going to say. The one thing that Jeffries needs to always be careful of is the right hand of Aguiar. He's got power in it. He throws it, you know, all the way from down in Florida to come up to Connecticut, but he does have power when it lands.
Half of his 18 wins have come via form of a knockout, and second round taking shape very much like what we saw in the first round. They might have to start paying rent on that side of the fence there, John, spending a lot of time there.
Well, Jeffries has that wizard, and he's looking. He just decided that instead of going for that underhook, kind of going after the neck again, just putting pressure on him. He's going to make Aguiar make the decision. Do I leave my neck here with my arms extended around the body, or do I start to defend?
Aguiar with dogged determination trying to take Jeffery off his feet, but Jeffery putting his weight on the back of Aguiar, including his neck.
And the whole thing that you're looking at, you saw his hands come apart. That's a big tell that, oh, he's losing that position. And then to go to your knees, look, if you're Jordan Burroughs, go to your knees. Most guys in wrestling don't go to your knees if you're looking for that takedown.
Jordan Burroughs, of course, an NCAA standout, and
Olympic gold medalist.
We will see an NCAA Division I wrestler challenge Gegard Mousasi for the middleweight title coming up later tonight. The undefeated Johnny Eblen, American Top Team. Hey, that's an NCAA Division I wrestling factory, and you were telling me about something that Dan Lambert has put together with none other than Cale Sanderson and Penn State.
There is an American Top Team up at College Station now. Bo Nickel coming out of that. There's going to be some special fighters coming from that area. And all of that work that you saw Aguiar looking for that takedown, he took a lot of shots.
Jeffery is taking a lot of, delivering a lot of shots now, though, on Aguiar, especially a right hand over the top, and really setting it up, peppering him up with a jab, and then landing the right hand and backing Aguiar to the fence.
Yeah, Jeffries has been doing a very nice job of what we just called dirty boxing, being, you know, nice short elbows, hands just rattling him. Continue to put shots on him, make him feel it. Jeffries has not stopped at all in any of this, but if you're looking at Aguiar, he's starting to wear down a little bit. You can see he's slowing down, and he's giving positions that he did not give before.
Dirty boxing synonymous with another NCAA Division I standout, good friend Randy Couture. And here you are watching Jeffery just put the pressure on Aguiar and delivers some strikes, elbows and knees, and Aguiar falls face first to the canvas. That's how you make a first impression in Bellator MMA. Oh, Canada, Aaron Jeffery turning it into KO Canada.
That was very impressive. You know, at the start when I talked about the Contender Series, the real thing is it's that the bright lights, and you want to win so bad. And coming into this, the question was he going to have that mindset of not being nervous? Huge elbow, that right elbow landed. Nice knee coming up. Tries to bring another one, then just jackhammers the left hand until Mark Goddard makes a great stop. Really impressive debut performance for one of your fellow Canadians there.
Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, it comes to an end. 3 minutes, 30 seconds into round number 2. The winner by TKO, Aaron Jeffery.